The Fourth Revolution by John and Adrian. Liberal democracy has lost some allure, but by slimming the welfare state and re emphasizing personal freedom, it can again be a model for the world. Countries that can establish good government will stand a fair chance of providing their citizens with a decent standard of life. Countries that cannot will be condemned to decline and dysfunctional. The West has to change because it is going broke. The emerging world needs to reform to keep forging ahead. In the 20th century, democracy trumped. In 1900, there were no countries that held election in which every adult could vote. But by the year 2000, there were 120 countries that did, covering 63% of the world population. In Iraq, following the war, and Egypt, following the revolution, hopes of democracy have been replaced by chaos. Established democracies such as South Africa have seen growing corruption, and Russia, Turkey, and Hungary have become increasingly liberal. Why should the leaders of such countries be attached to democratic principles when the world's most dynamic economy, China, is undemocratic, and when Western democracies are poorly run? The students are only taught about Western capitalism, not Western government, which is seen as wasteful and mired in debt. The Chinese instructors are more likely to hold up Singapore as a model, with its successful combination of authoritarian and free markets. Whether it is China, America, Europe, or Africa, the author suggests that the biggest challenge facing the world over the next couple of decades is fixing government. The author argues in the last couple of centuries, particularly that of America and Britain, was down to its openness to new ideas in government and willingness to implement them. From the liberalism of John Mill's night watchman state to the founding fathers' technocratic checks and balances on the Constitution. The first revolution in government was when 17th century European nations transformed themselves from kingdomship into centralized state because they were in stiff military and economic competition with each other. This increased their effectiveness. Then, in the second revolution of the 18th and 19th century, revolutionary ferment in France and America brought new forms of accountable and meritocratic government. In Britain, a new emphasis on efficiency and freedom saw a civil service based on merit rather than patronage. The West has lost confidence in the way it is governed. The author argues provide California as an example, big, broke, and inefficient. It has 37 million people, but one Senate seat. It has overlapping layers of government and spends the same amount on its prison as it does on education. Determined lobby groups seem able to hijack the system. Over in Italy, the state owned 574,000 official limousines for 180,000 highly paid elected representatives. It can ill afford. Europe as a whole is experiencing a demographic crunch. Its population is expected to decline from 308 million to 265 million by 2060, and the number of people over 65 will rise from 28 to 58%. Spending will increasingly go on welfare and defense, leaving less to spend on education, investment, or anything else.